Hello, fellow gamers and YouTubers. This is America Grams. And today, as usual, if you see me, I will be reading, not him, I will be reading a creepypasta called Spoink.
It's about a stupid ass pig.
No, it's not.
Bouncing
Spoink
on
isn't stupid. Spoink is a very loved Pokemon. I wish I had a Spoink, but I don't. Wish I did. Okay, let's go. I love Pokemon. Always have. Always will. From the start, I collected the plushies, the cards, the figures, and once the games came out, I was ecstatic. Yellow, blue, red, gold, silver, fire red, leaf green, ruby, sapphire, emerald, you name it, I've played it. Diamond and Pearl were no exception. Once the games came out, I raced to chips, money in hand, ready to buy the game. Unfortunately, my excitement was immediately extinguished when an apologetic cashier told me they were already sold out. Why? She explained that there had been a massive rush to get the game and they wouldn't be back in stock until next week. I was literally tearing the hair out of my roots in rage. I always purchased the games as soon as they came out. Storming home, I began to think of ways I could get the game without waiting until next week. I am not a very patient person. Of course not. It was then I thought of James. James is a good friend of mine, and a massive computer/game geek. Not that that's a problem or anything. I could really use a nerdy friend right now. So I phoned him and asked him about Pokemon Diamond/Pearl. He told me that there's no way he could get me the game unless he downloaded a ROM for me. That sounded great. I'm a bit addicted to my laptop, so having a ROM of my much-needed Pokemon game would be perfect. I invited James over and watched him work his magic, and eventually I had a Pokemon Diamond ROM sitting in my laptop just waiting to be used. I thanked James and sat with my laptop on my knee. I slowly became obsessed with Pokemon Diamond. I named my character Dawn and my rival Barry. I have the most annoying habit of naming the game characters after the anime characters. And within a week, had earned myself 8 badges, and in a matter of days, after had owned the Elite Four and got the National Pokédex, my last goal was to capture every single Pokemon in the Pokédex. How did I get Spoink again? Oh wait, nah. Sorry guys. Being a hardcore Pokemon fan, I would never cheat to receive Pokemon, even the event ones. So with day after day of strenuous work, hour after hour of migrating, and a hell of a lot of persuading with friends, my Pokédex was near to completing. However, 2 Pokemon restrained me from my goal, Spoink and Grumpig. How do I get Spoink again? I whipped out my Diamond and Pearl guide and discovered that Spoink was a swarmed Pokemon. Of course, saving at Lucas' house. I switched off my DS and adjusted the time over and over so that the swarm Pokemon kept changing. Eventually, his younger sister said, Route 214. There's a whole bunch of Spoink there. And so I set off to Route 214. It didn't take much time to nab myself a level 22 male Spoink. Now I simply had to raise it 10 levels and voila! I had myself a complete Pokédex. I decided to train my Spoink outside Fuego Ironworks. There were some decent leveled Pokemon there, and I had been meaning to go there for some Firestones. I worked my way through Floatsouls, Gastrodons, Shellos, and Wingulls, and then I came across a Luxio. Level 29, a formidable opponent for my now level 27 Spoink. The battle commenced. A wild Luxio appeared. Dawn sent out Spoink. Spoink used Zen Headbutt. Luxio used Thunder Wave. Darn it! I used a Paralyze Hill. Luxio used Thunder Wave. I used yet another. Luxio used Thunder Wave. Persistent, aren't we? Luxio used Thunder Wave. What? Don't you have any other moves? Luxio used Thunder Wave. Surprise, surprise. And so it went on. Luxio used Thunder Wave and me using Paralyze Hills. One of us had to run out eventually. It was me. I stared angrily at the screen as my last Paralyze Hill was used and yet again wasted. I wouldn't run away though. I would show this Luxio that I could win. Paralysis or no paralysis. At least there was a 50% chance of me attacking. I selected Psybe. Spoink is paralyzed. It can't move. Meh. Bit of bad luck, that's all. Luxio's used Thunder Wave, but it failed. I selected Zen Headbutt this time. Spoink is paralyzed. It needs to move. Change in dialogue? Oh well. Spoink is paralyzed. Heal it, quick! Sorry, game. I clearly don't have anything to heal Spoink with. Spoink is paralyzed. Please, it's in pain. Okay, this is getting a little weird. Fine, I'll run and get you to a Pokemon Center. That makes you happy. Can't escape. Oh, lovely. Spoink is paralyzed. Do you even care? Okay, change dialogue and questions? This is really getting a little odd. Spoink is paralyzed. Its body is shutting down. Spoink is paralyzed. It doesn't want to exist. Spoink is paralyzed. Why won't you do anything? I rapidly tapped the touchpad rid of the messages. No, I was hallucinating. I was a little overly addicted. That's all. I switched Pokemon and sent out my level 68 Garchomp, which quickly defeated the dastardly Luxio. Afterwards, I flew to Eternia City and ran to the Pokemon Center. Welcome to the Pokemon Center, where we heal your Pokemon and back to full health. Would you like me to take your Pokemon? No, Nurse Joy. I came to admire your outfit. Okay, I'll take your Pokemon for a few seconds. I watched anxiously as the Pokeballs were placed one by one on the tray and healed. She turned back to me. Your Pokemon are now healed. She bowed. We hope to see you again. I immediately checked my party and was greeted by something shocking. Spoink was still paralyzed. How? I rushed to the Pokemart and stocked up on Paralyze Heals. Hurriedly, I opened the menu and tried giving one to Spoink. It won't have any effect. I tried again. It won't have any effect. It won't have any effect. Don't you listen? The dialogue had changed again. It won't have any effect. Why didn't you listen to me? It won't have any effect. Why didn't you just end it? It won't have any effect. Don't you understand it can't be cured? It won't have any effect. Why don't you just kill me? I closed down the menu. Surely this wasn't real. I opened up the menu again and clicked on the Spoink's summary. Everything was normal except the sprite. It looked saddened. Instead of its normal bouncing animation, it shuddered violently on the spot, and a flash of yellow electric bolts whizzed around its body like thick rope immobilizing it. My hands grew clammy and I rubbed my eyes. Why was my game doing this? It was then I remembered this wasn't a game. This was a ROM. Not the real game, a fake version on a laptop. Anything could have happened to it. Any sick freak could have tweaked something here and there and created this. I decided to return to the Pokemon Center. Maybe if I tried again, Spoink would be healed. Welcome to the Pokemon Center. Oh dear me. Your Spoink looks very sick. Let's take a look now. This time only one Pokeball appeared on the tray, and the blinking animation went on longer than usual. When Nurse Joy faced me again, her words put even more fear in my heart. I'm afraid your Spoink didn't make it. It has passed away. I am very sorry. What? But Pokemon didn't die. They faint and that's it. They don't just die. Just like that. Terrified, I hurriedly switched off my laptop without saving, and I could have sworn I heard a quiet Spoink cry emitted from the speakers. Ruby Pokédex entry. Spoink bounces around on its tail. The shock of its bouncing makes its heart pump. As a result, this Pokemon cannot afford to stop bouncing. If it stops, its heart will stop. Heart Gold Soul Silver, Pokédex entry. It bounces around on its tail to keep its heart pumping. It carries a pearl from Clam Pearl on its head. Well, guys, that was Spoink, and yeah, have fun.